All right, and then I'll just be a minute or so. I'm looking for something to talk about. Let's hop into it.
Under my protection. My gift to you.
All right, so here, maybe lagging like we kind of lose track of Ramacha for a second. So Ramacha starts running in, and we're kind of lagging behind a hair. So we end up that's one thing to note here, and then we kind of leave line of sight of our Ramatra, like we're kind of not able to see him. So it's a good idea then that we teleport in with the Suzu, but we just got to be careful that we're not leaving line of sight of our teammates.
Okay. I just didn't expect him to cross in front of the statue.
Yeah.
But yeah, where do you think I should like position for that then? Like if my ram crosses in front of the statue like that, like am I meant to also go in front of the statue? Like what do you recommend for like line of sight? Because I feel like I'm in front of their entire team right now.
Yeah, so honestly, like if you were closer to him from the beginning, then you possibly could have just crossed over with him,
Okay.
or potentially climbing up on top of this could be another option. But like honestly, you are right. Like now that you weren't with him from the start, teleporting to him is just the fastest option.
Okay.
After losing line of sight, essentially. Because like you said, you weren't expecting him to go around to the side. If you were already with him, then you might not have the same predicament, but teleporting is the easy option.
Okay.
Okay, easy cab.
Oh, I like don't understand how Kiryu wall climb works or something, because I was like, what the why did it not let me go up?
Yeah. Wall climb will break if you're moving your camera at all, so you have to keep your camera straight. That's something that could have been the reason why.
Sometimes it takes two. I'm on fire. Soothing your wounds. I'm with you. Hey. Kaiki.
Okay, good Suzu. Okay.
I feel like they just ult dumped there. Like I don't.
Yeah, they did. They just came in with like what 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 of them.
Protects you like a gentle rain. Let the kitsune guide you. Purify.
All right, so comments. I think that generally speaking, it looks as though we're maybe sometimes healing too much and damaging too little. Last time, I mean, it was 2 weeks ago, but did we discuss overhealing at all, that concept?
Yeah, because I kept shooting like my full health tank.
Yeah, so this time I'm still seeing a little bit of that. It doesn't look like it's always atrocious, but we end up doing that. Like you can see it, like for example here when we've tossed down our ult and then we're going and heal instead of like trying to damage and kill something, we're healing people who are down like 25 HP, and that's stuff that can kind of just be like, Lucio can kind of get that with his aura sort of deal. Where now he takes a little bit of extra damage, we can heal him with those Suzu. Um, Healing him when he's full HP again. So it's just like the hyper focus on healing. We healed Lucio who's full HP, all when we could be shooting at the BAP or the Lucio with your kunai sort of deal. So we end up just not damaging as much as you could be. So I think that was a trend I saw like the past couple of fights where it's just like a lot and a lot, like pretty much like I don't know, like 80% healing and then maybe like 20% damage. Generally speaking, it's gonna differ from game to game, but it's probably gonna be it's probably gonna be a bit more healing, or sorry, a bit more damage, a little bit less healing. Maybe somewhere in the ballpark of like 60-40. But once again, that will depend on the game and the scenario. What's your other support? What team comes through running? Here in this scenario, I think that it will be a little bit more than that for healing, because you don't have the Lucio's not doing as much. You're running a Ramatra who's gonna be soaking up a lot of damage. They have a Bastion and a Mei, so your especially your Ram is going to just be soaking up damage this game, but it's still probably be closer to like 70-30 than it would be to like 80-20. So just a little bit too much healing, a little bit too little damage, more overhealing than needed, and then all the time that we shouldn't be healing, we should be damaging. So anytime healing's not needed, then we're damaging, and that just means that you have a lot more value. You get more ult charge, you're going to get more damage and kills, and just value overall. All that makes sense?
Yeah.
Yep, so just a little bit more on that.
Just can't hit the Lucio.
Okay. Did we talk about... Sorry, apologies, I'm going to be asking this a lot since it's been 2 weeks since we did our last session. So, did we talk at all last time about your sensitivity and DPI?
No, we did not.
No. Do you know what your sensitivity and DPI are at?
I believe my sensitivity is at 7 for all characters. Except like specific ones, but
Yep.
that's my general one, and I don't know what my DPI is. There a way to look that up on your computer? Like,
Do you what kind of mouse do you have?
Right now, I'm using some like $15 mouse off Amazon.
Okay.
I'm
Then
at home.
then the $15, like if it's not like a brand, it might not have like software that comes along with it, which that's usually where you check. You could possibly like look up the mouse and see what it's at, because $15 mice like that probably come at a set DPI.
No, it has little buttons to change it.
Oh, really interesting.
But it
Okay.
doesn't have a software.
Okay. And it doesn't tell you what you're changing it to.
No, it just changes the color when you change it. I'm trying to see.
Interesting. You could possibly look it up.
Yeah, I'm trying to look it up. That can't be right. Maybe that's right. 3200? I don't know if that's really fast.
3200?
Yeah, that seems really fast. But yeah, that's what it's telling me it is, but I don't think that's what it is. I have no idea, to be completely honest. I've just always had like the same setting on my mouse, and then like the arena, I kind of just felt it out. Like, I know I should probably have that down to an exact number, but I never really knew how to do it.
All good. So if that was hypothetically 3,200, that would be a lot. So your EDPI, which is your DPI times your sensitivity, would then be 22,400,
Mhm.
which comparatively, my EDPI is 3,600. And I would say that I have like I'd say I have like a standard like low sensitivity, so that yours would be considered like a very high sensitivity, or even let's say
Yeah.
you're closer to like something like 7 times like 1,000, then that'd be 7,000. It'd still be higher end, um, if not more extreme. One way that you could potentially test this is, do you have a large mouse pad or a small mouse pad?
I have a massive mouse pad.
Massive mouse pad. Okay, so if you take your mouse, so it not maybe not during like for the whole, if it's like a desk wide one, you don't have to do the entire pad
Like the mouse
space,
space.
the mouse space that you use. Go up to like a character and drag from like left to right and see how many spins you do. And if you're doing like 5 spins, then that's maybe a little much. um
Okay.
because then you're not going to be able to have as much control over your movement, um, over your mouse movement. But at a minimum, like as you can see with mine, is I do one 360 roughly about
Oh, I do 2.5.
two and a
I
half.
just
Okay,
tested it.
so then that's actually, then you probably have a lower DPI than you think there then,
Yeah, I don't know
because
why online telling me that.
yeah, because then that would mean that you're probably more like, um, let's see. Yeah, you might be closer to like 1,000 then. So then it'd just be like a normal. That's like closer to like a normal high sensitivity. So if
Okay.
you want a bit more accuracy, you can try toying around with the concept of going lower down on the sensitivity bar, for more accuracy. Other things that can help with practicing your aim. Did we talk about warm ups at all last time? Do you typically warm up?
Yeah, I typically warm up, especially before like comp. I'll
Mm-hmm.
like go into an aim trainer, and then like one of those ones where like they run around you in the workshop, and then
Mm-hmm.
I go and I do like the honest sleep trainer typically like on the Blading Genji and the Sombra,
Mm-hmm.
and
Gotcha.
then I kind of just try and get my wrist warm. Typically play quickly before I go right into comp.
Gotcha. Cool, cool. I would. That sounds good to me. I might recommend over quick play, maybe doing something like Tryhard Free For All, which is more fast paced dueling than quick play, which a lot of times is just a little bit slower pace. People are kind of memeing around and doing whatever. Really, it's not at super quick play. It's like kind of, it's not terrible for a warm up, but it's also not like the best for warm up, because warm up a lot of time you're just specifically trying to intentionally warm up your aim, because that's what gets
Yeah,
rusty the quickest. So something like Try It Free For All would be a good, or other high aim intensive game modes would be good ideas as well to practice dueling people. And whatnot. Yeah. Because like
yeah,
aim trainers are all good, but they're also not always going to be able to simulate like a Lucio wall riding around you. So getting in-game dueling experience is also important. So I might recommend that as well when you're trying to do your warm-ups. But beyond those, trying to go for lower sensitivity, and if you do try a lower sensitivity, note that it's not going to necessarily feel like, if you've been playing on that higher sensitivity for months to years, swapping to something lower isn't going to feel fantastic immediately. Maybe it will, but I'd give a guess that maybe it won't. So
yeah,
maybe give it a couple of days and see how it's feeling, and if it's still, you're still not liking it, you can adjust from there. But the way that I usually have seen like people, when you're trying to find a new sensitivity, is go to like a training range or something like that. At a very minimum, I wouldn't go below one full 360 with that, or that'd be a minimum lowest. But you can try lowering a little bit, mess around with it in the training range, see, is this, do I like this sensitivity? If you feel like it's too slow, bump it up a little bit. If you feel like it's too fast, lower it down a little bit, and just like keep adjusting it until you find a sensitivity that feels better, that feels right, and then go play that for a couple of days and see how that goes.
okay. Yeah, I was a console player for like 9 years before I swapped to PC probably two
Mm-hmm.
years ago. So
Gotcha.
I kind of like it's a comfort to have the really high sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I get that. I also like go and I play like other games a lot of the time because play Overwatch for 7 years. You don't really want to play it all the time.
Yep.
But I go and play other games, and I definitely can tell that my higher sense, like, takes me out of the game when I play Valorant. I'm like, oh,
Yep.
okay, I should probably lower my sense. Or I
Mhm.
typically have like 2 sensitivities for different, because I play a lot of MOBAs, so kind of
Mhm.
gets swapped up there. But yeah, I should probably have like 2 different sensitivities when I'm playing FPS versus something like a MOBA, which I just don't.
Okay, I gotcha. Yep, 100%. Like I would definitely recommend just like swapping it up because especially landing headshots, it's gonna be more difficult.
Yeah.
Carried on the wind. I'm on fire. Konnichiwa. What's up? Payload stalled. 私が守る。Reality bends to my will.
Yeah, so see here, you break
I'm
it
moving.
so you have to keep your camera straight. You notice how we break it as soon as we look to the side when we're climbing. So we're climbing, and then we're like looking off to
I'm
the side.
struggling.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, I did not know that you couldn't move your camera, so that's good to know.
Yeah.
Hey. Hi. Hey.
All right. Yeah, that went very good. Cool. Nice shots. Also can cleanse as well if as needed there.
Konnichiwa.
Out of the freeze.
I'm on fire. My gift to you. Teleporter materialized. Ultimate's charging. Soothing your wounds.
So, like throughout this whole process right here, so we're just kind of spamming heals. Once we get these like anybody to like mostly good, we can probably start spamming shots in like right here, for example. Like once we like get this off on Ram, like notice how everyone's full HP now. We can probably start
Mhm.
like launching some kunai in there, right? Just get some extra ult charge, maybe frag a kill, that sort of thing. And then yeah. So just like getting some extra shots, and like here, like there are also people full HP again. Now he needs healing, but just like there's little bits of in between.
Let the kitsune guide you. I'm on fire. Underestimated me, ne? Hey.
Okay, nice. Nice, possibly a little bit dangerous. Now they didn't touch, but hypothetically, if they did, when you're about to cap point, where's the one place that the enemy team needs to go?
On to the point.
Onto the point. So therefore, that becomes the most dangerous place for you to be standing because that's the only place that they will be like putting all their attention on. So rather than standing on top of cart, it might be better if like you're a little bit off to the side or a little bit further back, right? That
Mhm.
or even in the room back here. So you have room left side further back, depending on your character. But I probably just wouldn't be like smack dab in the middle, just because then that just like puts you a little bit dangerous. Like if someone did touch, you're now like 30 HP standing out in the open, right?
Okay.
And they were literally like half a second away from touching.
Yeah, it was very, very close.
Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Probably could get some kunai off to start, right?
We knew they had a widow. I was a little
Oh,
scared.
okay. Fair enough. Fun angles in case you weren't aware. You can shoot from here, and usually not looking in this room.
Oh,
that
okay, good to know.
that's it. That is a little spot there.
1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
What's up? My gift to you.
All right, so last time did we go over what character did we go over last time? It wasn't Kiriko, was it?
Anna.
Anna.
It was
Yeah.
Anna on this
Okay.
same map.
Same map,
Yeah.
Anna. Okay. So then we probably didn't go over crosshair placement then last time, right?
No.
I would presume not. Usually
We
I
went
don't with
over
Anna.
more like I've struggled more so with like flicking my shots. That's what we
Yeah,
went over on Anna.
Gotcha. So here on Kiriko,
I'll find my own
and
path.
any other character that can headshot, crosshair placement, something you've heard before.
Yes.
Phrase terminology. Yeah. In my own words, crosshair placement is using your brain to help your aim. It's placing your crosshair in the best place possible to make shots as easy as possible. And the very simple way to do this is make sure you are aiming at head level. Headshots do approximately 2 times damage on most characters. On Kiriko, it's 2.5, I believe. It used to be 3, and then they changed the numbers around, but I think it's like 2.5 times damage, which is a big difference. It's 2 tap versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tap, right? Big difference between that. So therefore we want to be hitting headshots. It's very important to hit headshots on a lot of characters. And if we're walking around aiming down here, then it's just a lot of adjustment to hit heads, which makes it a lot more difficult to land them. Instead of doing just left, right, we have to go up to left, up to the right, right? If you're just doing your business, shooting down corridors, shooting into shields, spamming, shooting people normally, if we're aiming down here at body level, we just hit body shots naturally. But if we do all the same stuff and we just aim up at head level, then we're shooting down corridors, shooting into shields, doing all the same business, but headshots just come naturally at that point because that's where we're aiming. Now that's aiming at head level, but there's also pre-aiming, aiming where you know people are going to be. So if we know that there is a bot somewhere around here coming around the corner, I can aim at head level around this corner. Oh, that was body level. Whoopsie. Aim at head level around that corner so that as soon as the bot turns the corner, we can already be aiming head level. So we know the bot's going around the corner. We're already aiming head level so that as soon as this bot comes around the corner here, we're already lined up at that headshot level. Very easy shots to land. Same thing with these guys. Now these guys are on a slope, so it's the same way we'd look down on a torb and up on a tank. We're going to adjust downwards on these guys, so these shots just become very, very easy and natural. Very little adjustment has to be made. So I'm going to show you now going back into the game that we're in, but did all that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now coming back into the game you're in, how is that looking?
Ready for battle.
Alright, so let's look at it right around here. Okay, look at where we're at on Bastion and Orisa. And even if you go all the way, why is this so loud when I turn my system volume off? Sorry, I'm getting like notifications. I just turned the system volume down. I don't know why it turned it all the way back up. Okay. If we're look at also where we're at on Lucio and on Baptiste, we're just below that head level, right? So we're just gonna hit body shot and then body shot, and then we're still good Suzu by the way there. But look at where we're at
You take a lot of damage. Huh?
next time we shoot.
Okay.
But you see what I'm talking about there, where it's just
Yeah, just hiking it up a little. Like
Yep,
putting it
exactly.
up a little.
Yep. Okay, even when we adjust back, more body shots, because look at where we're aiming on Orisa. Body shot, body shot. Now we're up a little bit. Now that's head level right there, but it's kind of like inconsistent.
Mhm.
Draw strength from nature. Let the
Okay, so
kitsune guide you.
occasionally, so we're, obviously, like, once again, we're working with inconsistencies, and so when we're working at a higher level, we're working with trying to get more efficient, get more consistent. So I'm gonna call out like these, sometimes like seemingly smaller things, like misusing Suzu here, right? Like this seems to be popping up once in a while, where like we're like an inch away from cover, and we actually get behind cover, and then we Suzu after we get behind cover for our whole team. So that just ends up being a wasted Suzu.
I'm gonna explain my thought process here.
Good.
I Suzu here because I know I have to Kitsune. Like I'm trying to get my team to touch.
Mhm.
Like right now, because this is a
Yep.
scrim, so I'm telling my tank, we're gonna push up, we're gonna touch with Kitsune, we're gonna touch with Kitsune. That's my
Yep.
game plan to retouch this. And so I want to peek this immediately after I get cover, and I know I'm gonna push in with the Kitsune, so I don't want to have to
Mhm.
sit and cover, and that's why I
Gotcha.
Suzu myself. Whether that's a good plan, I don't know, but that's my thought process there.
Okay. Which is interesting, because the only thing I'd say with that is just the fact that it's a really small cooldown, short cooldown. So I don't think it's gonna last the whole backup and push forwards duration. So if you're gonna do that, which isn't wrong, I would do that just during the push forwards duration. So
Okay.
if that does that make sense? So you used it
Yeah.
as you were backing and then pushing, whereas it's not gonna last long enough to do that. If you're gonna use it to push, then use it as you're pushing,
I
not
meant
as you're
like
backing.
refilling my health.
Yeah.
Which I
Um,
probably should just use it when I'm pushing. That's
Yeah,
like
which
if I was going
exactly,
to
because
do that.
it's gonna do the same thing either way. Because we use it, and then we like we kind of back up. So I'd say just like maybe like a hair quickly. But then the other thing to consider as well is that you don't need to push forwards with your Kitsune. You only need to peek for half a second to place it, right? So
Yeah.
that potentially means that you have it to throw on your teammates who go and run in, like right
And
here.
die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah.
gentle rain.
The other thing there is just, I'd say, probably just like, to be honest, it might have been worth it to just like kind of give it to them at that point.
Let
So
the kitsune
let's see.
Yeah.
Do you have your whole team with you? I think are you down a person? I think you're down a person too. Okay, so you're down a Hanzo. Honestly, at this point, like decision making wise, probably just worth it to give it to them
Well, we get our
because
Hanzo back because we have TP up.
TV up. Not at the time of your engagement.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so you're down a person, and then the other thing is that they have a massive positional advantage. So it might honestly just be worth it at this point just to give them the point and just hold this corner, because engaging in now is just going to be engaging in with a disadvantage. So you have the fact that A, you're down a player, B, they have point control and they're about to cap. C, some of you guys are a little down on HP. So like your Ramatra is a little bit lower, you're a little bit lower, Symmetra is a little bit lower, and then like D would be like maybe you're not like all immediately, like even if you're calming, maybe you're not all immediately on the same page. Like Ramatra is like in the process of backing at the moment. So not because everyone's on the same page. Like it's sometimes it's better to just like not make that snap decision, if that means that everybody's not on the same page with it, sort of deal. So a couple reasons to say that like it might be just better to just like hold the corner, and just let them cap, because then we do end up baiting on ult, but then also now we have bad spawns for our whole team,
Yeah.
which would just mean that we have probably that, then therefore probably counted as like one of the fights for this point, essentially. All right, he got shredded pretty quick because he's like full HP here.
Yeah, and then
And he
it dies
blew
in my
up.
yeah.
Okay, good Suzu.
You take a lot of damage, huh? Ultimate's charging.
Okay, a little bit of overhealing.
I was just scared to. I really didn't want to die to the Hanzo. My head, I swear to God, is like a magnet to Hanzo headshots. So I was terrified of their Hanzo.
Gotcha. Which is a fair enough sometimes. Like, it is, you do want to be careful, but like once you get to a high rank, you'll start to be able to find out that like when you're back here, like as long as you're being careful and you're not moving like a bot, or like you're not standing still, you're not moving in straight lines, you're not just going back and forth, but you have decent movement and you're far away outside of Hanzo's effective range, then you can kind of spam in shots without the danger of dying really as much. Like there's the chance of it, but it gets outweighed by the fact that you get to also have the potential for kills and then also get ult charge and things like that. So
Okay.
it's really realistically like working with it. And if you see that Hanzo starts like shooting at you actively, then you can maybe play a little bit more carefully. But a lot of the times like that first shot isn't gonna be the finisher shot. So just don't overstay your welcome, don't get too close, don't be too dangerous, but there is room for healthy poking because because there's a lot of characters that can melt you pretty quick at a range, right? Hanzo, Widow, Ashe, Kiriko, things like that, the characters like that who have the potential to shred you, and it isn't necessarily a I never peek ever against these characters. Widowmaker being maybe like the most dangerous out of them, but especially at ranges, Hanzo's a little bit safer.
Ultimate's charging.
Probably didn't need the Suzu with the beat.
Yeah, we TP. Yeah, so maybe just don't react quick enough to it. All right. Let's talk maybe a tad bit of target priority with who you're shooting at. So this isn't something we probably would have gone over with Ana, right? But this is Kiriko, so let's go over it. Let's exit here real quick. So who should you be shooting at in your games? Generally speaking, you want to be shooting at the easiest characters to kill, because the easiest characters to kill will be the ones that actually die. The hard characters to kill, you'll shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot, and then they won't die. And who are the hardest characters to kill in the game? Well, that would be the tanks, because they are designed to be that way. They have 2 to 3 times the health of other characters. They have armor. They have tanking abilities. They have shields. They're the easiest to heal, etc. They're by design difficult to kill, and therefore they just won't die if you shoot them and shoot at them and shoot, right? And then that just ends up wasting, if we do try to do that, we just end up wasting all of our time, and then nothing actually gets accomplished. Therefore, if you have equal opportunity, meaning that this is a tank right here, and this is a squishy right here, and you have the option, one or the other, you go with the squishy, the easier target to kill. Or if you have the option, let's say that the tank is in front of the squishy, you go and actively seek out that other target. So if we have to go past the tank to get to the squishy, we want to try to find a way to get around them and go for them. So that could be in a variety of different fashions, primarily with off-angling, which we go over that with Ana, off-angling.
Yeah, making sure taking off.
Yeah, so it's the same concept of you can do that to get around and get to their backline, right? So that is who we want to be shooting at. That's not to say that you never shoot at tanks. You can shoot at them if they're low. If they're out of position, if they're the only thing that you can possibly shoot at, then go for it. If Winston's that HP, then he's no longer the hardest thing in the game to kill, right? You just go like that and he's dead. So, obviously you can go for that. Even among DPS and supports, there's still a hierarchy here, right? Like, who's going to be easier to kill, a Tracer or a Zenyatta?
Okay, see, probably the Zen, but my ego says, oh, I can one-tap melee the Tracer. So, I guess it probably depends, like, is the Tracer in my face? Because then I'm probably shooting the Tracer.
Yeah,
But
of
if
course,
it's
but
just, like,
then that would...
if they're just sitting back there, then I'm probably...
Yeah, which once again, we're talking about equal opportunity. And then there's also, like you said, there is that pressure of, like, what's on top of me. Because then at that point, Tracer is the only thing you can shoot at. Because otherwise, then you die, right? So it's shoot at Tracer or die. So those would be the so if you have the option, Tracer's here, Genji, or the Zenyatta's there, who would you shoot at?
The Zen.
The Zen, because then Zen's easier to kill, right? So, if you're in your game and they have a Bastion, so hypothetically now, like this is the game that you were just in, and they have the Bastion, and what supports are they running? I don't even know if I remember. They had a Lucio.
The
They had
Lucio
what was the
Bap.
other BAP? Yeah.
Bap.
Okay, so they have a BAP and they have a Bastion. Bastion's in Sentry. Who's gonna be easier to kill?
I'm sorry, Lucio? I don't remember
Well,
my other option.
BAP,
Bap.
I was BAP and Bastion, I guess, are the ones I was comparing. Yeah, probably BAP, right? Bastion is almost like a mini tank, right? So yet in the game that you're in, the primary two people that you've been shooting at have been Bastion and Orisa, probably the two hardest things on their team to kill.
Yeah, we're target focusing in chat in like comms, which I know you can't hear, but we're target focusing in comms the Bastion because their win condition is their Bastion. So we're kind of just trying to like poke out the Bastion because if they can't push without him because their damage is so low otherwise. So we're like, okay, try to kill the Bastion, So every time he's out of turret form, I'm trying to shoot him.
Gotcha. So
which
then,
is my thought process. I know the Orisa's
yeah,
bad, but
for sure, 100%. But then I'll see you, for example, in even in other situations where like he is in Sentry form and you're literally doing like 0 damage. Like you're doing that much damage against the Bastion. So you're doing what is that? Like is that like 35 or 40 damage or something? 40 damage. 40 damage against a Bastion who is has the 300 HP. And in a Sentry doesn't he have damage reduction in this too, right?
Yeah.
And armor. So you're gonna kill him in like a dozen shots. Really probably just like not worth it at that point for you to be shooting at him. Like I get target focus 100%. You should be shooting at the targets you're calling for, but if he's not being actively called, or even if he is actively being called and you have the better option in your face, go and shoot the better option in your face. Like if you can 2-tap like a Baptiste potentially, like I would 2-tap the Baptiste, and then like you're definitely right on like general target focus. Like you also want to, the other thing to consider is value when it comes to kills. And value is another factor, and Bastion is a high value target to kill. We are correct. So that is something else to factor in. But as Kiriko, you also have like a little bit less of a less impact on the Bastion when he has, especially in his Sentry form. So I'll see you shooting at him when he's in Sentry. I'll see you shooting at Orisa when there's other people right next to you. So we can like go back to the game that you're in. And see if we can like just see that in the fight. I am confused. Okay, I'm just gonna exit on my calendar. For some reason, I keep getting the notification, even though I turn off my system volume.
This is London, huh? I've seen fancier.
All right. So I think we're coming up on this fight right here. Okay, so we come in, we TP, and first thing we're looking at and shooting at is Bastion, right? Even though Bastion is just like, around a corner Sentry, like when hypothetically ready to go. You have a Lucio and a Baptiste who are like right above you that you could
Yeah.
potentially be going for. Or Orisa who's close to you as well. You know, just probably, or a Hanzo who also you could be going for. So there's like a lot better options realistically here. Like even here right now, probably shouldn't be on Orisa. Probably should be looking at the Hanzo or the Baptiste, or the Lucio wherever he just teleported to. Oh, he's inside. So probably like anybody else but Orisa. But yeah, we're looking at Orisa again. Good, Suzu. That point, fight's lost.
My ultimate is ready. Join me. Carried on the wind. Let the Kitsune guide you.
Gotta be careful because Cart cuts off the ult.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep. So Cart interrupts it. So just gotta be careful when ulting like at Cart.
So does it cut off the Fox, or does it cut off if any part of it hits it?
I think it's the like the middle of it. So you can
Okay.
have it like send it this way, and it could be like touching the cart, and it won't stop it. But if it runs into the cart, then it will stop it. So I
Okay.
think the Fox is probably a good way to think of it, but I'm not sure if that exact hitbox is it or not. But generally speaking, yes, the Fox. Okay, good job backing when he starts shooting at you. But once again, noting that we're Suzuing after we've already gotten around cover. So just see, kind of same concept as before. It's just like you cover and Suzu don't both need to happen at the same time.
Okay.
Unfortunate.
Be careful, Schnapper.
Okay, full HP. Probably can throw in a shot or two. Yep, there you go.
Could have probably
Potentially.
TP'd there.
Oh, to TP it
Or-
across? Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
you're definitely right. I think so. Yeah. So that is a good call. Probably instead of walking here where everybody can shoot at you, just TPing to like the Genji here. Probably a good call. Additionally, I'm not sure if Suzu's needed here. Like this is like, it's not like the most horrendous Suzu in the world, but like realistically, I don't think that it's needed because of the fact
We have
that
a shield.
you have a shield, they're
Yeah.
next to cover, you have two supports who can heal them, and neither of them are like anything lower than half HP, right? So
Mhm.
probably just not needed. Because now we might want it in a second here. Potentially.
I'm on fire.
Which, now, go ahead and shoot at Bastion, even if he's in Sentry, because, one, only thing for you to shoot at. Two, now he's much lower HP, and you have all of your teammates shooting at him. And three, there's no other... Oh, wait, I already said that. Yeah, so no other option, out of position, low HP, therefore, easy target to kill.
I'm on fire. My ultimate is charging. My ultimate is charging.
Okay, so here, kind of like ducked inside a little bit
My ultimate is
when
charging.
maybe not fully needed. Like we get out of it and get away from it, but then we kind of like run inside and for a little bit, which just kind of puts us out of the fight for half a second. That's like very minor though. It's not like that's the biggest deal in the world. Okay, very nice.
I feel all warm inside. Like a gentle rain. Group up with me. Let the Kitsune guide you. The breeze brings relief.
They got this mattress somehow.
Let the Kitsune guide you. The breeze brings relief.
My goodness, this is
Yeah, ult fight. Ult fight.
also your sensitivity's hurting my brain.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. All right. We probably could have gone over through that like frame by frame, but it's
was a lot.
let's wrap up.
Yeah, like frame by frame, but like in the heat of the moment, like I'm not
Yeah.
gonna be able to make those frame by frame
Yeah,
decisions
exactly.
anyways.
Yep. All right. So, Kiriko,
I'll find you a path.
different things, Suzu usage. Make sure that you're not using it when you or your teammates have cover. That was like the one thing is like you'd get cover and then we'd like Suzu and then be like, okay, well you could have just regular healed, right?
Yeah.
So remember that with Suzu it's low and in danger. There's a difference between being low and in danger. I can be 1 HP and sitting around the corner from the enemies and perfectly safe, and I can be full HP and sitting next to a diva bomb and be very much in danger, right? So low a lot of times indicates danger, but it's not equivalent to it. Besides that, TP, I'd say just make sure that you are utilizing it. I think maybe that was like an underutilized part of your kit. I don't think you actually used it like all that much. It can be used in a lot
I'm
of
always
fashions.
scared I'm gonna
Yeah.
int with it.
Yeah.
Which
a-
I know a lot of Curies, like a lot of high elo Curies especially, like go into like the back, like they'll go flank and
Yep.
they'll like get few kunai off and they'll TP out, right? And that's
Yep.
how they use them a lot of the times. And I
Mhm.
just like I was super uncomfortable in the character, and I was just like,
Yeah,
So yeah, I
which-
could probably use my feature.
Exactly, that's a really good idea, and like that's what I like maybe one of the things I was going to talk about. But like do that, like you'll get to more time to do that. Like that game there probably wasn't as much because like I said, you were doing a lot more healing than on an average game. But once you find that groove of like when to heal, when to damage, you'll be able to find those opportunities to go in and start to damage. Another thing with TP is that you can hold it and drag, and as soon as you come in contact, it will automatically TP with somebody.
Oh, it's like Guardian Angel. So
Yeah.
it just like auto does it. When,
Yep.
Okay.
So that's really handy because what we can do is if we're on that flank, we can be keeping an eye out for who am I TPing to, and then let's say I'm in danger, I can just like do a flick TP.
I haven't tested it. Is Curie TP still broken?
Still
Like,
broken in
what-
which fashion?
Like in the, the crouching thing?
I don't know if I know what one you're talking about.
Like when tanks crouched, you couldn't TP them.
Oh, I'm not
I
sure.
don't know if that was still a thing.
Maybe they fixed that. I'm not sure. I'm 100% sure.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah. So you look to utilize it, get places faster and quicker. Be able to see your teammates, whatnot. Overall abilities like medium, lower end of medium priority for you to work on. Ult usage, watch the cart. Besides that, like probably nothing incredibly massive. I think that there's maybe some things we can get into the future about it, but for the moment it's pretty solid. Low priority. Mechanics, make sure that you are aiming head level, crosshair placement, right? Head level and aiming where you know people are going to be. Potentially consider lowering sensitivity, mess around with the concept. When you're warming up, potentially try something. It's high aim intensive game modes like try free for all, for example. put concentration and effort into how you're aiming. Did we talk about anything else mechanical? Watch over healing, right? So, generally speaking, up the percentage of damage you're doing and lower the percentage of healing you're doing by a little bit. Most games roughly gonna be like a 60-40 split. That game probably, because of the comp and the situation, maybe more like a 70-30, but you were playing it more like an 80-20, right? Just
Okay.
just a little bit too much. So in general, just like wanting to get some more out there whenever it's not needed. Whenever healing's not needed, then we're damaging, right? Overall mechanics, that one was probably like a higher end of a medium or so. Next comes your positioning. Make sure you're using cover. Good positioning, usage of cover. Bad positioning, absence of cover. Make sure that like you're not going too far around that corner. Like sometimes, for example, like when we're healing, and all the enemies over here, we had like position back here. So even if you get them to full HP, like you're not gonna you can't even damage even if you wanted to because you're so far around the corner. So position here where I can heal, and then peek immediately for damage, and then heal, and then peek, so that you can actively get damage in. Do you get what I'm saying? Like there'd be times where you
Yeah.
just like are so far around the corner that you can't do any damage. Yeah. Honestly, I don't think there's like too much else in that last game. Overall, like lower end of a medium, maybe a tad bit lower, but something around that. And then final thing, awareness. Pay attention to where's your team at, where's their team at, what's the health of your teammates and their danger levels. And pay attention to kind of like what all the enemies are up to and all of that, all the in-betweens. Overall, that one's like a medium. So to put that all in order, number 1, probably gonna say goes to mechanics. Number 2 goes to abilities. 3 comes to awareness. 4 comes to your what else am I missing here? Dare I say positioning, or did I not? I said mechanics, then abilities, then awareness, then positioning, and then finally ult usage. Not really too big of a deal for the moment. Any final questions?
I'm on fire. Let the kitsune guide you.
No, that's really it. I do want to talk about like real quick the kitsune. So or the kunai? Like what exactly is the like healing kunai like thing? Like you like heal and then you shoot 2 kunai, or like because I know there's downtime between your heal. That's like
Back off.
Yeah, so you're saying like when you're down, like during your downtime, yeah, like roughly about.
yeah.
Like you can you use all of it and then you tap and then you use it again. So like 1 or 2. Yep.
Like a
Okay.
Just about. And then that's just a good habit to get into. So tap, shoot, tap, shoot. That's actually, yeah, that's a good tempo to be going for when you're in
Okay.
games. But a lot of times you just kind of be just going for the healing. So yep, good point.
Okay.
All right. I will get you